to the Empowered Life channel. My name is Yvonne and this channel is all about bringing you content that's empowering, encouraging and inspiring. So today really is just a quick book review on a book I recently reread. The book is called 12 Leadership Powers for Successful Women. I bought this book off Amazon back in 2017. I paid about £6 for this book. As you can see, this book is quite a slim book, so it was quite quick to read. I think I read it in under a week. And the reason why I bought this book as part of being on the leadership program with Phoebe Academy and the Institute of Leadership and Management, as part of our reading material, we had to read books on leadership. So the books that I read were by people like John Maxwell, Miles Monroe, and this was the only book on leadership by a woman that I had to read. And when I looked on Amazon, actually, there really isn't a lot of books on the market written by women in leadership, giving their perspective and take on leadership. It's always usually men who are writing books on leadership, giving it from a very kind of male-oriented view. At the moment, I'm reading a book by another woman called Sheryl Sandberg, who is Chief Operating Officer of Facebook, and her book is called Lean In, but her book is written more from an autobiographical kind of view, her experiences, her insights, things she's learned on her journey, whilst Sylvia's book really is key things that she believes makes up successful leadership for women. Sylvia Becker Hill is an executive coach. For the last 18 years, she has been coaching and training women who are in positions of leadership or who are aspiring to positions of leadership. And basically this book is based on her successful techniques of coaching women who have had results. So she calls women who are emerging in leadership, defining leadership on their own terms, as Uber women. And the word is derived from the German word Uber, which means to be kind, fertile and abundant. So at the beginning of each chapter, Sylvia has a powerful Uber statement before you start to read the chapter of the book. So for instance, on the power of total alignment, her Uber power statement is, I align my brain for success and my life with purpose. So one of my favourite chapters from this book is called The Power of Purpose. And the Uber statement for that chapter says, I focus on my biggest why at all times. So according to Sylvia in this chapter, motivation comes from movement. I would agree with that to a sense, but I think before motivation comes from movement, you have to be inspired. What is it that is stirring in you that is making you want to be motivated to move? So she says, as a leader, you have to move yourself every day from the moment the alarm clock rings. What is the motivation for your constant movement coming from? As I said, it has to come from being inspired about something or passionate about something. I don't think it's enough that the alarm clock goes off, that you get motivation to move. As a matter of fact, there's been times where I've hit the alarm clock. But what has motivated me to get up in those times is having the inspiration and passion to continue to focus on the vision of the things that I want to do. She also asks you the question as the reader, what is your biggest why? So she shares, my purpose in life is to heal the pain of disconnect on this planet by fostering the phase of evolution of true partnership between men and women. I do this through my business mission of empowering women to be fully realised leaders who have it all without the usual sacrifices. So focusing on your biggest why is it in your position of leadership that you do the things that you do? But even though this book is written for women leaders, she's not just talking about people who are aspiring to be CEOs or heads of company or women entrepreneurs. She's talking about women who are wives, who are mothers, who are youth leaders, people who are making a change in other people's lives. Sometimes people think leadership has to be this big title, but actually women do leadership every day in different aspects of life. She also shares in finding out what is your why. She says that our lives that we've lived in the past, meaning the things that we've done in our past, things that we may have done growing up or in our teens or along our journey, are indicators to what is our biggest why. So I suppose if we're looking at that as an example with my life, I remember my mum as a 6-year-old child, she had a typewriter, one of the old school ones when you tapped on the buttons, and I always used to love to type on that typewriter, and I didn't really know how to write or anything, but I used to love when my mum used to get that out. Again, when I was in secondary school, English was my favourite subject, and the teacher always used to comment comment about my poetry and my writing style. Today I'm an author. I've wrote 2 books. I'm working on my 3rd book. So part of my biggest why is to inspire and empower people through the power of words. Looking back at your journey over your life, what things have stirred you to have passion, what things have inspired or motivated you, those might be the indicators you need to find your biggest why. One thing I really loved what she shared in this book, and it's actually evident throughout most of the chapters, the later chapters of the book, is that she says you must be a person that avoids drama, avoid negative people, people who love to gossip, people who are always involved in some kind of friction. And I couldn't agree more. For me, people who love to gossip, who are negative, who are always focusing on the problems rather than the solutions, are completely toxic. And apart from times where you have to be around these people, whether you're in a job outside of your own choosing, she advises to remove yourself from these types of people. People who have this type of mindset tend to not be able to see a bigger picture, a bigger focus. They are more interested in drama than having a peaceful life. What I also like about this book was that at the end of each chapter she has little things that are called instant insights, and basically it is kind of a summary of what you've just read. So for instance, with the chapter that I've just talked about, the power of purpose and knowing your why, it says no, people focus too much on what, worry too much about the how, and forget their big why. Another one she shares is trust when you look back without judgment. Your own life gives you all the clues to define your personal big why. Okay, so this book is actually quite a good little read, and it did remind me actually of things like self-care. She has a chapter in here on self-care, the importance of taking time out for yourself. And I think that's very important because as an entrepreneur, somebody who's just developed my own business, I work very long hours and I'm doing a lot of things at one time, trying to think about a lot of things. It is very easy to work long days and do things and continue to keep going and don't take time out. Sylvia shares in this book she likes to watch chick flicks and eat chocolate and, you know, relax and unwind with her friends. And she just shared that, you know, these things are important. I like to, you know, watch things on YouTube or do my exercise or read books or listen to podcasts. Doing things that you like to do, engaging in that me time, is actually empowerment, and it's actually strength for your journey in leadership. It's very easy to keep going and keep doing and pushing yourself to the limit, but you would end up burning out. So it's important to take that time out. She also shares as well about the importance of meditation. For me, I am a Christian, so obviously my meditation comes in the early hours of the morning, spending time with Jesus, spending time with God, sitting, reading my Bible, listening to worship, singing songs of worship. For Sylvia, she seems from the themes of her book to be somebody who is into New Ageism. I am not actually into New Age stuff, but I picked from this book what I needed to that helped me on my journey. But she did say that it is important to have the power of just sitting still, being in your own space and meditating. For me, I meditate to God, or I just sit and have my own quiet time. So all these things, she says, are key components of what makes successful leadership. So this book really is, if you are a woman, obviously, well, you know, if you're a man, you probably might pick up something and learn something from this book, I think. But if you are a lady who's in any kind of role of leadership, as I said, it doesn't have to be CEO, entrepreneur. You could be a wife, a youth leader, whatever it is that you're doing. I think that there are some things in this book that you will find very, very helpful. I have to take my hats off to Sylvia. The fact that she is trying to write her own book on leadership is a very big task in a male-dominated market where leadership books are traditionally written by men. I think that she's done a good job. As I said, her flow of book is more towards New Age. You know, she talks about evolution and different things like that. But you will take from this book what you will. She does have really good points in here. She does have some really good tips and advice to take away. And, you know, from the value of her experience, she's sharing it with others. So if you are a female in any role of leadership, I would say this book is a good book to read. As I said, there's not many on the market. So that is my quick book review. If you are a woman in a position or role of leadership, as I've just shared with some of those examples, what is the one key thing that you have found has helped you in your role as a leader? Leave it in the comment box below and let me know. I would love to hear from you to find out what is helping you in your leadership journey. And, you know, please be sure to check out my other videos, and I will see you on the next video.